Hey everyone, welcome to week 2 of Weeds in My Garden, where we're doing our very best to be honest about mental health and to talk about it in a way that normalizes these kind of conversations, validates, and helps lead people to help, hope, and healing. Last week, John kicked us off by helping us understand that it's okay to not be okay, and Jesus wants to make us whole. And in the next several weeks, we're going to be diving into specific mental health struggles like trauma, stress, anxiety, and depression. But before we move into the specifics, we want to take a week and talk about some truth. Truth is important when it comes to our mental health, and lies can very easily slip in. And a lot of us, whether we realize it or not, are believing some lies when it comes to our mental health. And it matters what we believe to be true. Some of us are struggling with our mental health because our foundation of truth has gotten a bit out of whack. For some of us, our mental health struggle may not be due to a lie, but we have a very real enemy who Jesus tells us is a liar, and he tends to show up in our struggle and speak lies and attempt to cause us to spiral even more. And it matters what we believe to be true because what we believe affects what we do. What we believe about ourselves will change how we live and how we act. And what we believe about God will change how we live and how we act. What we believe about our circumstances will change how we live and how we act. So this week, we want to be sure that we know the truth. And the truth we found in the scriptures is that in Christ, you and I are a known, loved, and accepted child of God. We are known. In Psalm 139, David talks about how God knows his every move, whether he's sitting or standing. He even talks about how God knew him before he was born. God designed him and formed him. God knows us as well. He designed and formed us. Every good quality and bad quality, every good decision and bad decision, our best thoughts and our worst thoughts are known by God. And this truth is comforting, but also kind of terrifying because we're very flawed. But that leads us to the next truth, that we are loved. You and I are fully known and fully loved by the God of the universe. There is no love like God's love for you and I. Paul talks in Ephesians about how he prays that the followers of Jesus there can have the capacity to understand how insanely loved they are by God. That they can begin to grasp how wide and how long and how high and how deep the love of God is, and that they can experience that love. And the best part about God's love is it isn't just something we talk about or a feeling. God put it into action for us. That's what the gospel is, a demonstration of how loved we are. And because of that love, you and I are accepted. In Ephesians 1, Paul talks about how we are chosen by God, adopted into his family because of Jesus. You and I are welcomed into the family of God. We have a permanent place there. We are safe and secure and significant as children of God. That's the truth. That's who God says we are. That's what defines us, and nothing can change that. No matter what comes in life, great times, rough times, happy moments, crappy moments, a smart decision, a dumb decision, a struggle, a diagnosis, your identity in Christ does not change because your identity relies on Jesus, and he will never let us down. Jesus tells us who we are, and that's the truth. And from that truth, we find help, hope, and healing. In Christ, you and I are loved children of God. And no, that truth doesn't mean our mental health struggles will disappear, but it means when the struggle comes, we can fall back on what's true. So, what lies are flooding into our lives right now? What are we believing? And how can we be reminded of the truth? How can we live in a way that no matter what we feel, no matter what's going on around us, no matter what's going on in us, and no matter what someone or something might be trying to get us to believe about ourselves, we can always fall back on this truth. We can fall back on who Jesus says we are. How can we be confident that we are known, loved, and accepted children of the Most High God? And that will never change. Because what we believe to be true affects what we do. And we want to be a people who live out of the truth of who Jesus says we are.